all these hatches up here. The whole roof is going to be brand spanking new.
We bought this 35-foot fifth wheel for $5,000 US, and we're doing a complete renovation inside and out. Join us this week as we use liquid rubber to bring this roof back to life. And as you can see, this roof was definitely less than ideal. So keep watching as we take you through a step-by-step guide of how we turned this horrible leaking roof into this. This is day one of resealing everything. It's funny that we've got a boat that floats on water with not one single leak in 5 years, and we've got an RV on land here that's got thousands of leaks everywhere. Can't keep the water out.
Whoa, 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 what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm pregnant, I'm not dead.
Oh no, you shouldn't be up here.
Well, I might as well help. We gotta get going, man.
You're about to give birth like this week.
Okay, let's watch this baby.
Alright. For those who don't know us, we're Ryan and Brittany and Jackson, and we spent the last 6 years sailing the world. It's been an awesome journey, but as you can see now, Brittany is very pregnant. So we've made our way back to Canada to have our baby. Now we do plan to travel back to the boat again shortly, but to make this happen we snagged this 35-foot fifth wheel to venture back across the US with Jackson and our exciting new little crew member that's on the way. But before we hit the road, this roof needs some serious TLC, so step one is cleaning.
Anything interesting?
No, it's just disgusting. Oh yeah, old wasp nest. Ugh.
Couples who scrub together stay together. Hey, fist pump. Give it better than that.
Before we can start sealing it all up and painting, we need to scrub the roof. After years of neglect, it's covered in dirt, grime, and God knows what else. So we're going to give it a proper clean, and we're using this RV roof cleaner from Liquid Rubber.
We're gonna call this entire reno extreme nesting.
Look at this. You're gonna leave this on, Brittany. You gotta rinse it off in like 5 minutes, right? But look at this. Just putting it on. Look at the color change. Like instantly.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's disgusting is what it is.
This stuff definitely does something now.
Okay, yes, I know Brittany is pregnant up here on the roof with me, but this stuff is non-toxic, biodegradable, and safe to use. Either way, I managed to convince her to jump on down, and I'm going to finish the rest off myself. So this roof cleaner is going to prep the surface properly to ensure that everything that we apply now will stick like it should. I'm going to link all the products we use in this video in the description below, so if you're interested, scroll down and check them out. The final step in this cleaning process is one last wipe down with acetone, and then we're ready to move on.
So what I'm trying to think is the best way to fix this. Now, obviously take it off and put a new one on's the best way to fix it, but it's kind of unnecessary, I feel, because it's in really good order. It's just somewhere it's leaking, and I can put a new one on, it's probably going to be leaking somewhere. So this is a little silicone seal all the way here, but that's not what's actually leaking here. I think water getting around and getting into this little crease here, it's just getting wet inside there. I got the new little drain on now. So that's all screwed in place and good to go. So what I'm gonna do now is run seam tape all across this whole seal. And I think it'll actually look quite nice because, you know, it's just gonna be a straight edge there. I am going to cover up this strip. Hopefully this never needs to be removed anytime soon, well, not for the next 10 years anyway, because that's what the warranty and guarantee is on this roof. So I'm going to tape it right up, because if you ever have to remove these gutters, it's because you're removing the roof, so you can take the seam tape off then. I'm just stoked to run that down and paint over it. It's going to give you a nice straight edge as well.
Alright, the seam tape is just a simple peel and stick tape which creates a strong waterproof bond over the seams, the joints, edges, etc., and ensuring no water sneaks through. It's super easy to apply, and this stuff is instantly paintable, so this will create a long-lasting, durable seal for us, which is exactly why we chose to use it.
This here is just straight on, and it's like just covers over the seam, so it's like doubly protected now. So now I'll just mask off a line across here, just in front of the seam tape, and we'll just paint the liquid rubber straight over the top now. And I've got a perfectly straight line and a solid 4-inch like strip of waterproof membrane now straight across that seam. So man, this is gonna be epic. I'm stoked. I'm so stoked. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you're gonna see the full transformation in a minute. Right here, I got the new vent to put on. Next step is just get some acetone. I'm gonna clean up this little area, put some butyl tape on the back of this, screw it down, and then we can throw on the lap seal.
Now I always put butyl tape on when screwing anything down, as it creates a watertight bond between two surfaces. Now for areas like this air vent, I'm using a lap sealant. It's a self-leveling waterproof sealant, and just like the seam tape, it's designed to create a watertight barrier, and it's also super simple to apply.
That actually works just as easy as the seam tape. I'm shocked. It's the hardest part's getting the old stuff off, and even that's easy. Once you get started, you can just grab it and rip it off. And this stuff seals real smooth. So you can see how smooth that is. I don't know what's better now, the seam tape or the lap seal.
Finally, I just went around sealing up everything else I could with either the seam tape or the lap sealant, whichever was the easiest to use at the time.
So we got 24 degrees today, it's 60% humidity. We have to paint above 10 degrees and below 80% humidity. So I'm gonna cut in around the edges with the liquid rubber RV roof coating and get that all done. I'm gonna primer up to it, half the roof, because it's super, super tacky. And once that dries, within a couple of hours, I can go over it with a coat of the roof coating again on that half. While that's drying, I can then go through and primer the other half. And then when the roof's dry, touch dry, hopefully this afternoon, I can stand on that side of the roof and paint the other half. If not, I have to paint the other half tomorrow. Fingers crossed I can do it this afternoon. We've got perfect weather for it. The humidity's picking up tomorrow. The temperature's dropping tomorrow. So I want to try and get this done today. Let's go.
The RV roof coating is all about creating a seamless waterproof barrier, and this step is all about precision, getting a good base down before rolling out the main coats. I'm going to work around all the edges and make sure to cover the seam tape and any tight spots near the vents and edges. You might have noticed I haven't used the primer yet, but that's because you don't need it over the seam tape. You see, Liquid Rubber's RV roof coatings designed to bond directly to their seam tape, which makes this process even simpler. So it goes on pretty smooth, and as you paint, you'll start to see it form that watertight seal that we're looking for.
Oops.
Now it's time for the primer, and like the majority of RVs out there, we have a TPO roof as well. So we're using the TPO roof primer because obviously it's designed to ensure the top coat will bond perfectly to the roof. So just like painting any surface, you should never skip this step and always use primer first.
All right, I've got a big chunk of the roof primered. I don't know if you can tell you on the camera, but I've just got to slither down the side here that I haven't touched. So I can come up and paint the back and all the way down the side. Once that dries, I can primer this section here. Whoa! And then paint the rest of the roof. So now we wait, apparently at least 2 hours. So I'm gonna take a quick break and I'll see you guys in 2 hours, which is pretty much a second. All right, it's been a couple of hours now and it's looking pretty good. So it is sticky and it's all consistent. you can kind of see the line here where the primer is. So I'm gonna go get the rest of the paint now and paint this half of the roof. Disclaimer, try and find someone to help you do this because it's super easy, but trying to lug this big bucket up the ladder, whew. Oh man, that about put my back out. So I'm gonna do the first coat of this bad boy, and this is when the magic really starts to happen. Check it out.
This next step, I'm using the RV roof coating. As I mentioned earlier, the primer I just put on is super tacky. So tacky that you definitely can't walk on it once it's down, which is why I'm working in sections at a time. Now you can paint this on thicker here. It's just getting pretty late in the day now, and I want to make sure it dries so I can try and stand on it later on and finish the other section before sunset.
Alright, the sun's going down now. I've done my first half, my first coat on the roof of the liquid rubber RV roof coating. That's first coat. All down this side, except for this last little section here. I've done the primer. Tomorrow, I'm not gonna be able to work because the humidity's too high. So I'm gonna skip a day, and I'll come back and do the second coat and the third coat the following day.
All right, this morning we're gonna do the second coat. And the reason I'm not wearing any protective gear while painting is because unlike the anti-foul on our boat, this stuff's actually non-toxic and contains no solvents and stuff. So it's pretty safe for us all and the environment.
So I've done 2 coats. This morning I went around and did the whole outside again. I've cut in all around the edge here. I'm doing the third coat. I've just cut in all around the edge, and now I'm gonna roll the top coat now. One word of advice that I kind of learnt the hard way here, well actually I did read it online. Between your coats, you should remove the tape, because I started removing it and it was lifting up the liquid rubber. So not a huge problem, just more work. So what I'm gonna have to do is get a Stanley knife out and just cut along the edge of that tape there, so when I peel the tape off, I don't rip the liquid rubber paint off. The other thing that I'm kind of wish I did now is I didn't tape around the hatches. So as you can see on these hatches, I've actually hit them with paint. I kind of knew that I was gonna get paint on them, and I thought, you know what, I'll just spend a day, one afternoon, and just clean all the paint off these hatches. But realistically, now I'm regretting that I should have spent the time to take them off.
I'm doing this final coat pretty thick now and using what's left of the paint. It's okay to put this on thick because this stuff is highly flexible, so it's not going to crack or peel. We're really stoked to put this on because it's not only going to save us from the water ingress, it's also UV resistant and solar reflective, which means it will help keep us cooler in the summer while also protecting the roof from any sun damage. And here it is, the roof is done. From a crappy weathered mess to a seamless waterproof finish that's ready for the road. Well, almost ready for the road. I say almost because next week we're installing the new kitchen. Or are we going to do the lithium solar first to make this completely off-grid? I don't know. Please subscribe to find out. And if you're tackling a project like this yourself, please check out the links in the description below. We've added Amazon affiliate links for all the products we used, and by using those links, you'll be supporting us at no extra cost to you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and join us for more DIY projects and adventures on the road and the ocean. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.